I'm a longtime friend of Adrian and John's. I met Adrian back in 1983 and John soon after, and we've been great friends ever since. In episode 1, John mentioned his invite from Adrian to fly across the US for 3 weeks came out of the blue. Well, both John and Adrian may not remember it now, but I may have just planted the seed for a trip like this back in December 2011, when I emailed Adrian just after he had performed his first solo flight. In the email exchange, I told him, only half jokingly, that the town of Mansfield, where I live, a stone's throw away from the historic city of Boston, was only 3,000 miles away, and that I lived 4 minutes from the airport. "What are you waiting for?" I said. Adrian's response at the time, not surprisingly, was, "Not gonna happen, amigo." Well, fast forward 3+ years, and it looks like Adrian has proven himself wrong.
We lost a day in New York due to low cloud and rain, and things weren't looking much better for today. But after watching the weather forecast, it seemed we could have a clear route to Mansfield if we left in good time and kept below the clouds. So we got a detailed weather briefing and headed off northeastbound.
I got a call and a text saying, "We're gonna try it, and the guys are currently underway, and they're heading to Mansfield."
Looking at the landscape down below, we realized that spring hasn't arrived yet in this part of the country.
You only see what your eyes want to see. How can life be what you want it to be? You're frozen when your heart's not open. You're so consumed with how much you get. You waste your time with hate and regret. You're broken when your heart's not open. If I could melt your heart, we'd never be apart. The key, if I could melt your heart.
Is it dangerous to fly like in a cloud?
They said that birds don't fly through clouds, so people shouldn't be there.
Is it louder when you're higher or lower in the sky?
It doesn't make any difference, it's always noisy.
What if you have to call Mayday?
You tune the radio to 121.5 and explain like your problem.
What happens if you puke or throw up?
It's like puke. They have puke bags like in a regular airplane, but they haven't used them so far. They haven't used them.
How much gasoline do they use to get here?
They flew 34 hours, 7 gallons an hour, and 238 gallons.
How much money did they spend on gasoline?
238 gallons is about $1,300.
Where do they go to the bathroom?
Well, they just don't drink a lot of coffee and tea and things for breakfast. But if they do have to go, they have like a little container, plastic cup.
How high do they fly in the air?
The highest point they went up was 9,000 feet above sea level.
Is it easier to take off or land?
It's much easier to take off. Landing is very difficult.
What happens if the engine fails?
If the engine stops, like you figure out what the problem is and you just glide and find a safe place to land.